Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another Facebook Live career coaching session. I'm Garrett Griffith with the Brighton Center, work at the Kentucky Career Center as a talent development specialist. We took a little hiatus during the holidays. We're here on Thursdays, and most of the holidays fell on Thursdays. So we decided to take a little break, but we're back, starting the new year strong. New year, new career, new opportunities. And we're really excited to be back and start our Facebook Live broadcast again. And we're really excited about our guest today, Mr. Rob Clark, who is with Brighton Center and Trades of Success program. We're really excited that everybody's here, but we're super excited about today's topic. Trades of Success is just a 3-week pre-apprenticeship program for men that's designed to explore in-demand trade careers that we've talked about before. We've had discussions about some different in-demand careers on this channel as well. And Haley always does a great job of inviting those employers as well. So if you're out there and you're watching us today, make sure you tell us in the chat that you can hear and see us. A pretty big part of this, that you can hear and see what Rob and I have to say. Well, mainly what Rob has to say. I'm just asking questions. But let us know. Again, we'll kind of go through our traditional format. We'll, introduce Rob, let him introduce himself, talk about the program, the benefits, and then we'll open up to questions at the end. So if there is a question, be sure you throw it in the chat. Sometimes there's a delay. But Rob, we're excited that you're here with us today. We're going to give everybody maybe 30 more seconds to join, and then we'll get started. So, and Kim, thanks for watching. It's good to see you. I'm not seeing you, but it's good that you joined us today, Kim. So there we go.
Cool. Yeah, and Garrett, thanks for having me on today. Appreciate it. I'm always happy to talk about the trades program here at Brighton Center, and it should be a lot of fun.
We're excited. So, and Haley's with us. Haley, thanks for letting you know that you can hear us, see us. So with that, we're just going to go ahead and get started, Rob. So if you can, just take some time, introduce yourself to us, and tell us a little bit about your role with Brighton Center.
Great. Yeah. My name is Rob Clark. I joined Brighton Center actually in September of 2020. So I've been with the organization about 3.5 months now, give or take a couple of days there. Okay. Not exactly from the area originally. I went to NKU. I originally grew up about an hour north of Dayton, Ohio. Got involved in nonprofit work and working around trades all growing up and stuff. So I was really happy to have the opportunity to return and help build a program like this one. Trade Success, big believer in it. I think it's a great opportunity to jumpstart career, or as I like to say, your future starts here, especially if you have an interest in working your hands and being creative too, and having an opportunity to build something that's really, really stable, and you can have a really long standing career with it too. Garrett, if it's okay, I can go ahead and start talking about kind of what Trade Success is.
Yeah, so that was going to be my next question is what is Trade Success? And I really like your tag there, your future starts here. I might have to steal that at some point. I'm just going to throw that out there for you.
That's fine. I don't have it copyrighted yet. So
it's okay, perfect. Yeah. Well, Rob, if you want to take it away, what is Trade Success?
Yeah, so Trade Success is a 3-week pre-apprenticeship program designed for men at this time. During those 3 weeks, we look at a lot of high in-demand trade careers throughout the Northern Kentucky and greater Cincinnati area. Those careers that we talk about are electrician, CDL, carpentry, construction, bricklayer, HVAC, welding, line worker, telecommunications, so working on power lines, working on phone lines. We actually talk a little bit about sheet metal and ironworking too. Awesome. For an example, the Ironworkers Union has a piece in the large concert venue that's being built in Newport. Someone who gets involved in ironworking and sheet metal working could be involved in something like that too, which is a pretty cool thing to see. We also started talking a little bit about as well, like shipmates and barge mates. Awesome. There are a few companies around the area with the river being so close that are looking for people to come into those roles, as there is a high demand there. All these trade careers have a very high demand. One from just the influx of businesses and the growth that the area has seen over the last 5 to 10 years. Just look at what Amazon is doing right now here in Northern Kentucky, and the fact of how many businesses are growing and forming because of Amazon being here, especially in the transportation and logistics side. CDL is a huge thing right now. But also, of course, over the 3 weeks, we do, like I said, career exploration. We do a little bit of like a financial 101. We talk about safety. We talk about a little bit of entrepreneurship, especially when you look at trade careers like electrician and HVAC. People have a possibility to create their own business at one point and kind of go down that path. So I want to make sure that we talk a little bit about entrepreneurship too. We also do hands-on experience as well through Ensweiler Building Institute in Erlanger. So we spend time with their instructors out there and go through some of their programs. I know last time when we did the cohort in October, the customers that went through that, they put up some metal stud wall framing, which was a really cool project. They worked on some drywall. They learned about a lot of different power tools, some ladder safety. I actually got inside a furnace too and messed around with some of the wiring in there. So lots of good hands-on things there too. And then with this one that starts next week, this cohort, we're actually going to be adding visits to the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers.
Awesome.
Which is the local union that works with electricians and line workers and telecommunication workers. And through that program, we're going to have access to also all of the other local trade unions. There are 18 of them in the area. There will be directors and training managers coming in and speaking to the customers as well when we're there. So we're packing quite a bit in to the 3 weeks. Customers are getting a lot of exposure to a lot of different things. But like I said, it's all about finding that future career that they're interested in, something that they can build upon for themselves. And if they have a family, build upon for their family too.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And especially just, with my role at Brighton Center, the trades are such a big piece of it. And like you said, it's in demand. You're not going to have an issue finding a career. And the best thing is that it's a really strong financial career as well, right? You're going to get paid well, and you're going to have a lot of opportunities. So I think it's great. And that sounds really neat. I'm just going through the things you were doing. I'm like, I would like to do that just to show up one day. I'm probably terrible at doing drywall, but I think maybe just one day might make me a little better. So
yeah. I mean, it's all stuff that even when we went to Ensweiler this past time, I was watching the guys go through it and do some of the stuff with instructors. I'm like, oh, I never knew how to do that. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
So it's great. As one of the things that was mentioned quite a bit in October was even if someone isn't interested in a career, interested in one of the hands-on things they're doing, just being able to have that hands-on piece is something like, oh, I can do this at my home now. That's even just a kind of nice little added bonus of the program too.
Oh, that's really cool. I thought that was neat. So and you kind of touched on it a little bit in terms of, trade success is going to give you that exposure, kind of that hands-on, that experience. But, really, how can trade success help someone start that new career or start their future, as you say?
Yeah. So at the end of the 3 weeks, what we really focus on is getting customers into trade training or an apprenticeship, or if they want to go back to school, like going to Gateway College, which we do a visit there too, and look at all of their training programs that they have. We have connections there to help people get in there too. That's a big piece of kind of the other portion of my job outside of running with the program is kind of acting like a salesman and talking with many employers throughout the area. Yeah. So we do have plenty of connections to those employers, and I'm constantly talking with them around the area and saying, hey, I've got this person who wants to be a plumber, this person who wants to be an HVAC technician. Okay. So that's kind of where we go from after the 3 weeks is, yes, we're exploring all these high in demand trade careers, but then at the same time, we're helping the individuals, get prepped for interviews, write a resume, create a resume if they need one, do edits on there. Yeah. And then ultimately the end goal is to get them into a program where they are getting paid like a full-time employee. They are receiving benefits and getting the training that they need to be successful too. Yeah.
I think that's perfect. And like you said, it ties in everything, like you said, there's that financial one-on-one piece. There's the hands-on, there's the networking, there's the ability to work on your resume. And then, hopefully at the end of that 3 weeks, you've got an opportunity to find a place that's going to pay you and train you. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I know I just saw it on the flyer, and we can talk a little bit about it. Is that I guess there's a weekly stipend. Could you just tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So for coming to the program for 3 weeks, we're actually paying people to be here, which is really cool. So it's no cost to the customers coming in. They just have to show up, be open-minded, be attentive, be ready to go. It's pretty much all I ask. But in that stipend, over the course of 3 weeks, they'll receive a total of $150. Okay. That stipend is there to help remove any potential barriers that might come into play. So if transportation's an issue, if gas is a problem, if needing a bus ticket is a problem, or even if it's something as simple as, hey, I need to pay for a meal today. That's what that's there for. Okay. So throughout those 3 weeks, they receive money 3 times. They'll receive it at the beginning of the second week, the end of the second week, and then the end of the third week too. Okay. But yeah, $150 over the 3 weeks. So that's basically, they're getting paid to be here. There's no cost to them.
That's awesome. Yeah. And then, so I'll show, this is a question. Yes, Elizabeth, thanks for watching. And yes, Rob did say it's at no cost. It's completely free. And if you're interested, we'll talk about how to get information. You'll notice scrolling across the bar on the bottom is the website that you can go to, and we will make sure that we will get that added in the chat. So there's a link, or Rob's got his phone number and his extension that you could give him a call at. So so if you're watching and there's more questions, go ahead and get them in. We'll definitely answer them as they come in. If we get a lot, we'll do it at the end. But go ahead, if you have questions, feel free to just go ahead and throw it in the chat, and we'll go through and make sure we get to it at the end. So I think that's awesome. It's no cost, and you get paid $150 to learn something. So
there's not many opportunities quite like it. So makes it a lot of fun, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so this is one of my favorite questions that I like to ask, whether I'm doing it with you or just talking about a training program they have, is just kind of, what is a day in the life like for someone in the Trades to Success program? Like, what can someone expect?
Yeah, so the program runs Monday through Friday. This time in January here, we are running a daytime and an evening session. Kind of to do some experimenting, trying to figure out what works best, but also provide the opportunity for someone who is working a full-time, 8 to 5 job. They can come at nighttime too. Awesome. During that time, we'll use the daytime one just for an example, because that's kind of where the main meat of the program is. So we ask that customers arrive between 9 and 9:30, just so, it gives a little bit of lead time. Like, it is Northern Kentucky, traffic is a thing. We always try to make sure, there's a little bit of flexibility there, but we are promptly starting at 9:30. We start every day with a video. Might be a motivational speech, might be something as simple as a Saturday Night Live, skit, just something kind of fun to kind of get everyone kind of moving a little bit and just kind of get woken up to. I know I need to have coffee or something in the morning, kind of help myself going. So I figure that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
And then we kind of do have it split up into 4 different things that we do. We do either classroom work, which is consisting of, this time, we talk about safety or financial 101 or entrepreneurship. We do hands-on stuff, which is, like I mentioned before, through Ensweiler. We do visits to Gateway Community College, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. So it kind of very much depends on the day. But typically, daytime runs from about 9:30 to mid-afternoon. Start looking at time frame there too. Another piece I wanted to mention as well, this is very much built into the second week of the program, is we actually help customers get something called the Kentucky Essential Skills Certification.
Okay, awesome.
So that's a really, really awesome piece that we do, and we allow them to pair that with their resume as well. Something we're adding this time too is we're actually adding a mechanical aptitude test, one that is very similar to aptitude tests that are taken and given by employers. So kind of help give customers a really good exposure piece there too. But for the most part as well, I realize, as much as how this program can feel like school, work really hard to make sure it doesn't feel like, hey, you're watching Rob sit up there talk for 6 hours on a PowerPoint. So try to make it a little bit more different and unique each and every day. We do have guest speakers that come in as well. Add some variety there. I know this time we have someone coming in and talking about welding, and then another individual coming in, and she will be talking about CDL driving and mechanical programs as well, or mechanic programs. So there's a lot of different things that we're going to be covering here too, in the day in the life kind of aspect.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think one thing is, in a previous professional career, I did a lot of presentations, and it's hard sometimes to do that, and it's hard to get through a day. And I've gone through trainings where it's like, man, this is tough. So I think it's great that you're able to break it up, and you do like fun things like little icebreakers in the morning just to kind of set a mood and get people engaged. I think that's awesome. And I like that there's a variety. It's not like you're going to be doing the same thing every day. It's going to be different days, different challenges. I think that's really cool. So I like it. I like what you're selling, Rob. I'll give you that.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I got 2 more questions. So what I'd like to do this time is that if you are watching with us and you have a question, go ahead and throw it in the chat, because there is a delay with the platform that we use sometimes. So it might take a minute or 2 for it to show up. So if you have a question, go ahead and throw it in there for us. We do have some questions in there already. So we'll definitely get to those. But What's the best way that someone gets some information? I know you talked, there's cohorts, and there's one that starts soon, and then another one that starts in April or late March, I believe.
Yes.
But what's the best way to get some information and join those cohorts? And just tell us a little bit about those dates, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So the quickest way would be on the Brighton Center website. So brightoncenter.com/trade-to-success. All the basic information of the program is right there on the site, and also gives dates for this one will be January 11th through January 29th. And then the next one will be through mid-April then as well.
Okay.
Also on the website, there is something that I added very recently. It's actually a form where people can fill out, kind of provide basic information about themselves, and then that actually gets sent to me. So if someone is interested, and I can reach out to them through that way too.
Awesome.
Someone also would like to ask questions, they can send me an email. That would be rclark@brightoncenter.com. Phone number, which you've got scrolling here as well, is on there too. And all that content information is on the website page as well.
Okay.
So it's very easy to find there too. And I'm always around my email, always around my phone. So I'm pretty easy to get a hold of as well. And always happy to talk to people about the program.
Perfect. Yeah. And it looks like it was just added to the website there. I'm going to ask just one last question, and then we'll go through the Q&As. We've got some questions in there. Is there just anything you'd like to share, like upcoming events that anybody should know about, or?
For this program, not necessarily. Just that it's a lot of fun. It's kind of pretty intensive too. We cover a lot of information, squeeze a lot into those 3 weeks. But it is very much a thing too, where I'm always open to questions. It's still very much a brand new thing. This is only going to be the second cohort that we're running in January with the program just starting. So there still is bound to be a little bit of flexibility and kind of things that we learn along the way. But it's going to keep growing from here. Trades are a really, really great career path to get into. I know, just to throw a story out there that I always like to use now too. I'm speaking with one of the instructors out at Ensweiler Building Institute in October. And he's the retired carpenter. And so he's like now their lead instructor there. And what he talked about was how there's actually like a age gap in trades right now. There's a lot of people who are looking to retire in the next 5 to 10 years. And there's not a whole lot of people in that next age group down. So anyone who gets into a trade now, they're going to be set up to be able to pretty much walk right into a really good position after their apprenticeship and training is completed too. So it's a really good opportunity, and timing is just right.
Yeah. And that's definitely true. There's several people that I know, and one owns a very successful HVAC business, and he wants to retire, and there's just nobody to kind of take those positions. So it's definitely a great career to get into in terms of job security, but also, pay and the ability to be your own boss one day, to own your own business. Is definitely a draw. So we've got some questions, so we'll definitely go through them.
Sure.
I think you touched on this one. So Elizabeth has got 3, so we'll go through them, Elizabeth. So the first is this Monday through Friday? And yes, you get paid to be there. So, and I think you touched on it. You did say it was Monday through Friday.
Yes, Monday through Friday. For this time in January, we're trying out 2 sessions each day. So we have a daytime, we have an evening one as well. But I would strongly suggest the daytime one is the best one, just because then you're actually able to go to the visits to Ensweiler, to Gateway, and to International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers too. So there's a lot more path into those daytime ones.
You get that more hands-on if you do that daytime, it seems like. Okay.
Yep.
So then second of Elizabeth's question, is this any age? Are there age restrictions for the program?
We look for 18 and up.
18 and up.
That's what we shoot for. There can be a case-by-case scenario for someone, say, for example, that's coming right out of high school. Maybe they graduate in May and they're turning 18 in April, just to throw 2 random days out there, or 2 random months out there. So there is a little bit of leeway there, but we do try to have, 18 and up. 18 and up.
Okay, perfect. And then this question from Elizabeth, is this program just for men?
At this time, yes. We are looking to open it up to women in the future. And that doesn't mean that if women are interested in trades, they can't contact me, because absolutely they can. We just don't put them through the 3-week program at this time, but we do still continue to work with them. Say, hey, there's plenty of opportunities. I'm more than happy to help them get connected too.
Perfect. Awesome. So, and then I think, so this isn't a question, but I just wanted to throw it up there.
Sure.
So Grizzly just said, went through the program, enjoyed it, and hopefully get back to do it. So there you go. You've got somebody in the audience that knows it was a good program and they enjoyed it. So that's definitely, if hearing Rob's sales pitches, which have got me interested, didn't interest you, you've got someone that's done it that have said that, they really enjoyed it. So I think it's great. I don't see any more questions. But if you are watching this later, sometimes you can't be live at 1 o'clock. We understand that. But if you're watching this later and you have a question or we didn't answer the question, be sure to throw it in the comments for us, because we do monitor these. And if I am not able to answer it, I'll definitely reach out to Rob, and Rob will be able to get the answer. Oh, there is one more. Sorry, I overlooked it. Okay. Here we go. All right. So this is a good one, Elizabeth. So I guess we did talk about like Insweiler Institute and going to Gateway, the Union. Will they be traveling during this training? Like, does Brighton Center provide that transportation? How does that work, I guess?
Yeah, so there is some travel that is involved. But if traveling is a problem, if there is a transportation barrier, I'll be able to work with the customers and we'll figure something out and we'll make sure we get them to the places where we want them to get to.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Well, There we go. So I think that is the questions that have gone through. But again, if you're watching this later tonight, tomorrow, later in the week, 2 weeks from now, we didn't answer something, be sure to throw it in the comments and we'll know that it's there. But Rob, I just want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to us about the program. I think it's great. I'm excited. I've definitely got a couple people that come to mind that I'm going to send your way. So hopefully we can get them in those cohorts, and I think you're doing great work. We appreciate it. So, and awesome. I love it. Thanks so much.
Great. Thank you as well, Garrett. And if it's okay, if I wouldn't mind mentioning, Trade Success also aligns directly with the overall goal of Brighton Center, which is helping individuals and families become self-sustainable. So just because the 3-week program ends doesn't mean that they won't continue to hear from me. If they need anything from helping get a driver's license to helping get a social security card to helping get a GED, whatever the case, Trade Success is just the start. So we're here to help with anything that we can to help people kind of get on that next step in life too.
Yeah, I think that's great. And that you tie it in at the Brighton Center. That's what we kind of the selling point. It's not just career services. It's Brighton Center, and it's 42 different programs that you have access to. So I think it's great, that you're talking short-term, long-term, there's the ability to get help the whole way through. So I think it's awesome. Thanks for pointing that out. That's great.
Great.
Well, thanks again for taking time. I appreciate it. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be back next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So be sure to join us. If you're out there, somebody, visit our website. It's been added to the chat, or give Rob a call. We'd love to talk to you. So Rob, thank you again. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful day.
Great. Thanks. You too, Garrett. Appreciate let me come on.
Yeah, no problem. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
See you, everyone.